right, in this video, I want to talk to you about shout out partnerships. Now, when it comes to growing your follower base, there's two really awesome strategies that you can use regarding shout outs. And essentially, what a shout out is when another page promotes your content or your page and says to their followers, go follow this person, right? Go follow at Elevate Your Mindset. So, this is a great way to tap into other people's communities to drive traffic to your page. And if you really followed through on module number 1 and module number 2, you now have a solid brand and you're sharing great content, so you're going to tend to attract a lot of followers. So you're really going to maximize your shout outs. Now there's two distinct types of shout outs. Number one is page shout outs or paid shout outs, and the next one is share for share or shout outs for shout outs. So let's cover the paid shout outs. So essentially how that works is you're going to find a page that you want to work with. So for example, we have Daily Dose already up here, and this is a solid page, huge follower base. And they share content that's very similar to ours. So they're definitely in the same niche, the same market, and their follower base or their community is something that we would love to tap into to just have a lot of them just come over to our page and start following us. So we would reach out to Daily Dose. Now there's a few different ways that you can reach out to pages. Obviously you can DM them on Instagram, send them a direct message, and but the most popular way or the most effective way is to see if they have any type of contact information inside of their bio, in their profile. So here, obviously, you can see that they have contact@dailydose.buzz. So you can shoot them an email, but it looks like they have another contact here, and it's biz@kick, and their kick name is TKSPO. So kick is probably the most effective way at reaching out to pages to lock down partnerships. And I'll show you exactly, what the Kick app looks like. It's a free app, KIK, that you can download, create a username that should be very similar, if not the same as your Instagram name, and you basically just start messaging people that you find on Instagram, and you reach out to them to strike up a partnership. Now, here is just a few words of advice, I guess, on reaching out for page shoutouts or paid shoutouts. When you're reaching out to a bigger page, number one, always lead with a compliment, a sincere compliment about the content they share or their page in general. And then you want to ask how much do they charge for shoutouts. And they're going to probably send you back a list of all the different styles of shoutouts that they do and how much it costs for their particular page. Now, another kind of word of advice or a word of warning. Do not reach out to these big pages and assume they're going to give you a shout out for free. That is the easiest way to get your post ignored, and they will probably never open a message from you ever again. So assume that you're going to have to pay for this because this is a page that they've spent a lot of time and energy building up. So don't assume that you could just get something for free based on all the hard work they've done from building a strong community. So make sure you reach out and you ask for prices. Now, the next thing to understand is what type of shout out that you really want to focus on. Now, there's three types of paid shoutouts that we're going to cover in this video. And number one is a screenshot shoutout. So essentially, they come to your account, they take a screenshot, and then they showcase it on their page, and they say, hey, go follow at Elevate Your Mindset. Another one is where they take one piece of content that you've shared, they'll either redesign it or use the same exact content, and they'll share it on their page, and they'll say, hey, go follow at Elevate Your Mindset. And the last one is they'll create content based on how they already developed their own content, and then in the caption they'll give you a shout out that says hey, go follow at Elevate Your Mindset. So we've seen that caption shout outs produce the least amount of traffic to your page and therefore the least amount of followers. The shout out where they just share one of your pictures is a pretty good strategy, but the screenshot actually produces the most results. It produces the most followers because people don't tend to really just like a screenshot picture. They just go and follow whatever page that they're screenshotting. So that seems to be a very good strategy for that. Now, the next type of shout out that I want to cover is shoutouts for shoutouts or shares for shares. Now, this is essentially when you partner with a page that has a similar follower base and you trade free shoutouts. So this is a very effective way at growing your page. So basically, I would reach out to a page that has a similar follower base. So for example, I would come over to here and let's say I would reach out to my friend Henry, Unique Designs, right? He has 28.8. So obviously he has, a little bit more than half of what we have, but he is actively growing his follower base. So I know that he's out there getting shout outs and promoting his brand. So his page isn't stagnant, and he shares great content that I believe my followers would want to see. So I wouldn't mind setting up a shout out for shout out with Henry. So I would just simply message him through a DM. If he doesn't have, a kick or an email on here, I would shoot him a DM. I'd say, hey, are you open for a shout out for shout out? And he would take a look at my page and I would take a look at his, obviously, and say, hey, this is a good partnership. Let's set this up. Now, because he has about half of my, or more than half of the amount of followers I have, I would probably strike up a partnership where he would maybe do 2 posts for every one that I do. And that's really important because you want to make sure that there's an equal exchange of value. So shout out for shout outs or shares for shares are really easy to set up, and they're a really easy way and a free way to start growing your page and really just partnering with other people that are in a similar niche, a similar market, and just make sure that the value exchange is equal, and make sure that the content that you're going to be sharing from the other person's page actually gives value to your followers, and the content that they're going to be sharing actually gives value to their followers. And then one last tip that works really good for both of these different styles of shoutouts, and one that is vital whether you're doing shoutouts for shoutouts or just paid shoutouts, is make sure to go to socialblade.com. Make sure the page that you're paying is growing steadily. You don't see a big drop off in followers, and it doesn't look like they're buying followers. And make sure that their engagement rates are solid, right? Make sure that they're actually getting a lot of likes and a lot of comments. Now, the next thing with share for share, when you're doing a partnership with somebody, make sure that they are not buying followers. Make sure that they're growing as fast as you're growing or very similar to it. So if we're growing, let's say, Elevate Your Mindset is growing at 15,000 per month, and we find a page with around the same followers, but they're growing 2,000 per month, I don't want to do a partnership with them because I'm spending a lot of money, a lot of time doing other types of shout outs, which we're going to get to in the next module. And I'm investing a lot of time to grow my page. So if someone with the same amount of followers wants to come in and basically just piggyback off of all of the time and money that we're spending growing our page, that's not really an equal exchange of value, and it's probably not a solid partnership. And when they post my content on their page, I'm not really going to get a lot of results from that if they're not growing that fast. So use socialblade.com to really check the analytics behind a page that you're partnering with or a page that you're paying to make sure that it's a solid partnership. So I hope you got value from this, and I'll see you on the next video.